Welcome, my name is Coach JJ, and thank you for joining us in our in-home training. Okay, so all the packages that we're doing from here on out, we're going to be doing something where we have a setup like in a living room space, or you have an extra room, and you just want to be able to train pretty much anywhere. You don't necessarily need to go to a dojo, although it's always highly recommended that you can find one, because it's always fun to train with partners, and some of the drills we are doing with partners. And sometimes you want to find that like-minded people, or if you can pull in a significant other, or even your kids, you can practice together. Okay, but I wanted to do something where it's something as small as your living room. You can still train martial arts and get some really great practice out of that. So first off, before we actually begin, just going to add a couple notes from here. Since you are at home, or even if you go out, say to the park, be sure that you're bringing some water. Stay hydrated. You can bring a fan, especially if you're indoors. Turn on a fan, make sure that you're nice and cooled down and hydrated. Get something with electrolytes. It's really important. I'm out in the desert, so I'm always drinking water. I'm always trying to rehydrate and make sure that I'm pretty well, drinking water all the time. So no matter where you're at, just make sure that you have something. Make sure that you're following a good nutrition plan as you're going through any sort of workout. Okay, and speaking of any of the curriculum that you're doing, if you are working with sticks, I would highly recommend that you clear out anything that's breakable if you are indoors. But if you can go to a park, go to a park. You go in your backyard, go in the backyard. Okay, that way you can kind of avoid things that's like your television, right, or any breakable things, any valuables. Just avoid anything. Stick flies out of your hand. It happens. It happens to everybody. Or you deflect off of your teammate and it hits something else, or anything like that. Okay, a lot of places will say, hey, closed-toe shoes if you're going to do sticks, just because if you start ramping it up and the sticks can fall, can start to get hurt. That's just a precaution for you. Totally up to you, however you decide to work out in your house. Just be aware of those precautions. And then lastly, before you get started in any exercise program, whether it be this one or any of them, just go make sure that you're cleared with your physician. Okay, make sure you're clear for exercise. If not, let them know, like, hey, I'm going to be maybe learning a new skill in martial arts, and I just want to make sure it's okay. If he says like you're clear, fantastic. Someone might say, hey, only anything light. The beauty part about this is anything and everything is essentially in your hands, especially when you're practicing it at home. But please go get checked out from your physician. And then the last note I'm going to make here, if you notice, we are in that portrait mode from here. That's just designed to have you go work on your phone so you can take a look at this, post it up, have a little stand from it, follow along if you like. A lot of people do the landscape mode, which is a little bit larger from that. I like it from here, so you can just go and quick reference any of the videos from that. You may be also asking, why does he wear such funky glasses? These are actually camera glasses from here. You can kind of see, we'll show you some of the videos of that. I have taken videos from some actual stick fighting that we have done with it, with the helmet on and everything. But this is actually essentially for you to benefit from it and see it from a first person point of view on how we're going to be moving left, right, etc., etc. Okay. Now, most of the videos here I'm going to be doing in a mirrored stance anyway, so you can just look at it if you're looking at me from here. And so if I say right foot forward, okay, it's actually technically my left foot, and you'll be putting your right foot on there. Now, if you take that first person point of view, looking from here, going down, you can actually look to see what it's like, what my feet are supposed to look like from that first person point of view. That way it gives you a little bit of a better understanding. Right? Why we do this, I'll give you a perfect example from this. If you switch over back to that POV, if I tell you to take a straddle stance, something like you're riding a horse, I want your knees over toes. This is a very common thing that happens here. All right, if I look down from here and I say, okay, my knees are over my toes. All right, but if you actually look, my knees are actually not over my toes. My perspective has changed that, and I actually have a little bit of a collapse inward from that. We call that knee valgus from that, but you can't even tell when you're looking like that because, like, look, I'm tracking my knees with my toes. It is a small difference, but it makes a huge difference in how we do it. So if I were to look, if you're looking from here and I'm actually tracking over my toes, if I look down, it looks completely different. It doesn't look like I'm going over my toes, but this is the proper position for that. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for, say, my big toe on the inside of my knees, so I can see that from this, and that's where I get my knees actually over my toes for that. So again, there's a lot of benefits to why we use these, or I wanted to incorporate these. Again, it is mainly for you. And I've had people be like, why is this guy? I've taken the lens out before, especially for sparring. They're like, why is he wearing glasses without lenses? All right. It's literally so people can kind of get a little bit different perspective on how we can do our exercises and our drills, and hopefully help you out to understand it. Okay. And of course, if we are doing that from the POV, your left is your left and your right is your right, versus in the camera where I'm doing a mirror stance. Okay, this is my left hand, and I might tell you, hey, your right hand, just so you can follow along at home. Okay, and that's everything before we get started. Please enjoy. If you do have any questions, we are always open to answer anything and everything. Please ask your questions. All right, and good luck training.